Hi, my name is Micah Williams. This is my informative speech for Miss Jackson's Speech 1315 class. How many of y'all have ever woken up thinking, what was that dream about, or why did I have that dream? That's a question that's been around for centuries. People have always had dreams where they've always wanted to know what they mean. Well, now in the 21st century, we have two main methods for interpreting dreams. They are informative and interactional analysis. In this speech, I will tell the differences between each one so you can better decide which is best for you. Before we jump into the two methods, however, you need to know about Sigmund Freud. He's the man behind most of our psychological work we have today and what many people still refer to. He was way beyond his time in science of medicine and psychological work and everything else. He wrote many books, one of which being The Interpretation of Dreams, which I use for most of my research and most scholars still use today. He was the basis for the two methods of dream interpretation we still use. The first one being the traditional method. During this method, the dreamer has to recite the dream in chronological order, the very beginning to the end, giving every detail. Who was in the dream, why they were there, when it took place, who, what, where, when, why, everything. Then they're supposed to say how they feel about the dream and give their opinions on why they think their mom was in it, or who the person that they don't know is supposed to be, and who they're representing. Then the interpreter of the dream then takes the dream itself that the dreamer told and the opinions of the dreamer and says what the dream means. Well, as you can kind of tell, that's a little iffy. You know, they're basing their whole interpretation on what the dreamer itself feels it means. So it's not always so accurate, but we still use it. And this is why whenever you see pictures of people like in insurance offices and whatnot, they're always laying on the couch talking with, that's where this comes from. The other type of dream is interactional or dream interpretation. It's interactional dream analysis. This can only happen on the most recent dreams because the dreamer is actually completely unconscious through the whole session. So it either is on most recent dreams or dreams that you have reoccurring or just won't leave your brain. They're just ones that sit there and tweak at you all day long. So a lot of people go in to a psychologist and they have an interactional analysis done, where you are completely unconscious and then the interpreter just goes and has you reveal the dream to them, so you have no opinions, no feelings whatsoever of the dream, and then they interpret the dream. This is why it's also most accurate, because it has none of your own personal beliefs or feelings in it. Edgar Cayce, a science of medicine, once said, "No one dreams who isn't able to interpret and learn from his or her own dreams." With that thought in mind and the fact that you just learned about the two most relevant ways of dream interpretation, you should all start trying to learn what your unconscious mind is telling you. The end. And now for my